All right, hey Ricky, man, how's it been?
Yeah, good dude. How about you?
Yeah, good, man. So I've seen you've been crushing it lately with the new YouTube business model. So I think it'll be really cool to just have you on here and just discuss your progress so far.
Yep.
So just so everyone knows, do you just want to give yourself a little brief introduction?
Yeah, sure. So I'm from Brizzy, Australia, and I'm 32 years old. Been running Profit Singularity for the last about 2 months, I think. So yeah, it's been really successful at the moment. So yeah, been really enjoying it.
From Brisbane, Australia, just like me. So do you want to just give a brief, do you just want to discuss sort of your story leading up to now so far? So I know you've done some other business models,
Yep.
but if you want to just give us like just a history of you and like how everything's led up to this point here.
Yeah, sure. So my journey started probably, yeah, I think it was in 2011, so quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
But basically, I started searching for for a side hustle, ways to make money, and I come across like an e-commerce course.
Yeah.
I took it, and I was dabbling in it for quite a while, and then eventually, after about two and a bit years, I eventually started having success with the e-com model. But I found that it was like a lot of customer service and just a lot of time because it was drop shipping, right? So I had to do a lot of the orders in the evening after work. So I was spending a lot of time doing all that, going back and forth with all the manufacturers. And so I was like, oh, there's got to be an easier way. So I ended up selling the e-commerce website. And about 2018, I started doing affiliate marketing, like with websites, and dabbling again with that, and found out that there's a lot of work that is involved in building a website. So you got to do the content, the keywords, backlinking, and all kinds of stuff to really actually get success.
Yeah.
Although I did eventually find success, it just takes a lot of work, and it's a side hustle. So eventually I did find success with it, working a full-time role, but not enough to really make it a full-time income. Because I was in sales, and I was selling caravans. As you know, Chris, caravanning in Australia is actually pretty popular. Yeah. So I was in a sales role for quite a while, but it was burning up a lot of my energy. And by the time I come home, I was pretty buggered.
So that was like your sort of regular job, right? So that's what you're doing.
That was my primary role. I was in sales, selling caravans. So I had to find a way where I could get back my time to really focus on, building websites and doing affiliate marketing. So I ended up taking a subcontracting job, selling cleaning ovens and barbecues. So not a glamorous role at all, but it sort of gave me back that energy and time to really put my brain into figuring out affiliate marketing and doing websites. So, and that was until I found you guys. So
that's a lot of people's journeys. A lot of people think that they don't have enough. Like the only thing you can really control, I guess, at the end of the day is like your time, right? So exactly. For like a lot of people I speak to, like they have to work their 9 to 5 in their regular job, and then they have to put the hours in after it, because at the end of the day, like you said, it can be really difficult when you have so much like regular work hours, and then to come home like while you're already tired and put in the time to actually like build up your side hustles. Like a lot of people, for them, they don't want it that badly to actually do that, but obviously like you did. So do you want to discuss a little bit about like your why and like why you chose to, come home after all these hours and even quit your regular job so that you could get more time to work on your side hustles and to find these other business models?
Yeah, for sure. So my why is really my son. I really want to give him the best life that he can possibly have with schooling, and after going to university and things like that. but also having my time, my focus with him and my long-term girlfriend. So they are my whys. And also we want to buy our first home, and what we're trying to do is pay off all our debt, and we're not far off it. So the future is really looking positive for us, especially with another income stream that I've been lucky to come across, which is, Profit Singularity. So I feel very lucky and blessed, and I'm excited about, what's to come for my life, my son and my partner, and, getting married. So, and being debt free, that is a big one too. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So speaking of that, because we were chatting on Instagram, and then we got you into the beta cell group and stuff, because you've done, as you said, affiliate marketing, blogs and stuff. So what's your highest day? What would you say? Because we've been discussing back and forth. So what's your highest day been so far? And like, what's the sort of total revenue that or profit you've actually made?
Yeah. So right now the highest day was $1,000. So I've never made $1,000 in one day in my entire life. So right now, what I started with was just, $150 a day, and then $250, then $500, and hopefully we'll be going $1,000 a day. So I'm actually using my own money. I don't have a credit card or Amex cards or anything like that. So really, I started off with a small budget, and now it's sort of snowballing. So eventually I might be hitting those, 2K days, 3K days, just taking a step at a time with the budget that I feel comfortable with. What I'll just tell you was, from the day that I found the winning ad was on 8th of August till today, and we're over 4K profit. So take home. So, and that's US money too, Chris. And with the Australian conversion, that's probably what, about 5.5 Australian money, maybe getting close to 6, which is
in like 2 weeks, right? That's like 2 weeks.
Yeah, just over 2 weeks. So I was talking to my partner, and she's amazed by it too. And she was looking at it, and she was like, I remember when you used to get paid weekly, you'd be paid $750. This was before my sales role. And she was like, now you're making that in one day. And I was like, I know. It's just super exciting to see, So
impressive to see and stuff. So how does that feel to know, like, you see people in the group having success, and that it's like a fully attainable thing? How does it feel going from that like whole journey, from like starting small to like now making like, really profits?
Yeah, it's amazing. When we first spoke, it's probably a different Ricky that you noticed right now. My confidence, everything has gone up, because I was looking at all these other people and I was like, how are they doing that? How can I do that? You know what I mean? So, from 0 to, 4K in 2 weeks, profit is amazing, so I'm looking forward to hitting those big days, those Chris Reader days, Nick Perhai and Keegan and some of the other guys that are actually getting there. So, just starting from where I started from till now, it doesn't feel real, but it's amazing. Yeah. So very excited.
Yeah. And that's like the feeling when you first have your first big breakthrough. It's like, it can happen so quick. Like, as you saw, like it can just happen so quick. And then it just feels like, and then it becomes the normal, and then every day you're waking up with like $500,000, like, profit. And you're just like, all right, cool. It's just stable and consistent. And the other thing is with this, how did you find this business model compared to your blog business model?
I can tell you now that from like doing an ad to making money, it's super quick. You can have an ad and a funnel done within, pretty quickly, and you can have your ad running within 24 hours. So it's like night and day difference. Like I was speaking earlier, to actually write an article can take anywhere from 3 hours if you're doing it yourself. But if you're getting someone else to do it, you have to do you yourself have to do the keyword research, how to structure the article. Then once it's written, if you've got people writing it for you, you have to pay, $100 for an article to be published on your website. You got to publish it. You got to do all the mechanics of it. And then you got to do link building and then promoting it. You can see I've spent hours and hours and hours at this computer, building an affiliate website, whereas I've spent nowhere near that time you guys give you the scripts to follow and how to structure your copywriting, how to structure your funnels. It's super simple, super easy, because all I do is follow the formula, make my video, make the funnel, which a lot of the times you can just use bits and pieces of what you've already done when you keep doing more funnels. 24 hours you can be up and running and testing ads. So yeah, you couldn't ever do that with blogs, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And nowhere near making money, because when you publish an article on a website, it can take 6 months to rank. So 6 months, and if you got to try to beat out the competition too. And if Google if they don't like anything about your website, just with a little band hammer that they got, or when they do algorithm updates, they can just remove you from page one. And if you're not on page one, you're not making any money. So learning how to run ads through YouTube ads and Google ad platform, it doesn't really matter, what Google does. You can be making money pretty quickly, rather than waiting for the Google algorithm to rank you. So yeah, super simple, super easy. It's amazing, really.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, what the benefit is of running, because there's a lot of stuff out there with like affiliate marketing, right? Like, you look on YouTube, you look on Google, it's all like build a blog, build a list, do all this random stuff, spend years building this like slow burn, right? And so I never jumped into any of that, but that's why our business model is so like crazy, because it's not really anywhere else out there, and it's all based on paid traffic. Like when you look into affiliate marketing, you probably can't find any of this sort of stuff.
No, this Profit Singularity, how it's structured is you can't find it anywhere on the web. It's nowhere. And believe me, I know. Yeah, because I've taken so many courses, and
and a lot of people, that's what I think is really amazing about with what we do. And it's like paid traffic, right? So once you have a winner, you don't need to wait for like 1,000 people to type in a keyword, or you don't have to rely on anything else except for the algorithm and just upping your budgets. And as you've seen, you can start from small, like $100, $50 a day. Once you get a winning ad, you can just literally start bumping the budgets with our scaling methods. Yeah. And then it can go from like, $2K in profit a day to $5K to 1,000 to, as you've seen, like 10,000.
I've seen it. Yep. Yeah, it's awesome. I don't know if you know this, Chris, and you probably experienced this too, but I don't know if anyone else is. But while I was finding my winning funnel, I actually lost very little money during my testing. Most of the time, I broke even. Yeah. I don't know if anyone else experienced that, but most of all my testing that I did and all the different offers that I was testing for, I broke even. I actually very, very rarely lost. I wouldn't say lost, but like, I didn't get money back while I was testing. So I don't think I've ever told you that.
Yeah. So you didn't lose any money from the start.
No, I hadn't lost during my testing. So like when you do other, ads, usually you would lose money while you're testing. You don't really get that return. But during my testing phase, in my experience, I didn't lose any money. And if I did, it was very little. So
and then it's just, yeah, exactly. Well, that's because when we give you all the resources and the templates and all the, because we've gone through all the testing phases and stuff, like we know which voices work, which landing pages, which videos, which scripts and stuff. So that's awesome to hear as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think I told you that. Yeah. But that's amazing too. So yeah, it's really cool that you can, in most cases, while you're testing, you're not burning through your cash trying to find a winner, that's not a normal thing.
So have you told any of your friends and apart from your girlfriend, have you told any of your friends and family about your process so far? Because I know when I first started, when a lot of people jump into sort of the online space, a lot of people are super skeptical about it because they might not think it could work for them, and they sort of try to project that onto you. And I've been there, and I know a lot of people in this space have been there. So have you told any of your friends and family about like what's been happening?
So in the early days when I started back in 2011, I got that all the time. Like, why are you doing that? No one ever makes money through that. And then that started going on to me is like, yeah, maybe they're right. But I didn't let that deter me. Like, I knew in my mind, I was like, doesn't matter what they say. I know what I want. I don't want to work for, I've always been an entrepreneur in my heart.
Yeah.
And so going to a 9-to-5 job, actually, this is going to sound bad, sucks the life out of me, really, because I give 100% to whoever I work for. I give that 100%. And when I was selling those caravans, I was hitting all their bonuses, all their criteria, to their KPIs. But the owner was making majority of the money for all my time, all my effort. And I just knew in my mind that I'll do whatever it takes to get out of that 9-to-5. And I'm nearly there, and I'm excited about it. But yes, to answer your question, I got people all the time doubting me. Especially my mum and dad, they really just thought, what are you doing? Just go and work for somebody, because they have always worked for somebody. And now when I show them the numbers that I'm doing, through the years, they started to believe in me. They started going, wow. And then also my partner, she was at her wit's end nearly, with all this online side hustle stuff. And she wants to run YouTube ads. She wants to do affiliate marketing. She wants to do e-commerce. But now that she's seen me do Profit Singularity, she's like, I want to do YouTube ads. So, because she's just seeing these numbers. So, yes.
Yeah, that's the thing I think most people sort of struggle with, especially it's like the belief in it, right? Like you have to have the belief in yourself, and the belief that, if there's someone out there doing something, that you can also go out and do that as well. And for most people, like your friends and family or stuff who they don't have the belief in like the business model, first of all, or any of the business models out there. And then they also probably don't have the belief in themselves that they can go out and achieve it. And ultimately that's what makes the people that have success in this successful, like the belief in themselves and the belief that the business model works. And just like you've seen other people have success, and that if there's someone out there doing, $1,000 a day, $10,000 a day, $20,000 a day, that there's no reason why you can't go out there and just replicate that exact same thing.
Yep. I used to look at those numbers and just think, I don't think I'll be able to do that. But now I know it's possible, and definitely, it is 100% possible to hit all those numbers. You just got to put the time in, have a never give up attitude. And I think, Chris, you've now seen that. I think when we first met, I said that I don't give up.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you remember me saying that I'm not someone who gives up when things get tough. And if you have that mindset, then it doesn't matter what's in front of you. If you're testing multiple videos and it's taking weeks and weeks, and you're seeing other people have that success, don't worry about that. Keep going, because it's only a matter of time before you hit a winning video and a funnel. So as long as you wake up every morning and you go towards your goals, you will definitely hit a winning funnel. There's no doubt about it. So
yeah, that's exactly right. And the biggest thing I think in my journey, what I try to convey to people as well, is like, it's just your long-term vision is made up by like your little daily steps, right? So if you're traveling like a journey, it's not the whole journey. You're just going to get to the end. It's like all the tiny little steps that you're going to do to get to that journey. And as you've seen, that's been the case of you, launching a couple ads here and there, starting it for lower budget, seeing it work, and then start scaling it up.
Yeah, exactly. Just one step at a time. Get your ad up, run it. If you've only got a small budget, run with a small budget, but just let Google do majority of the work. Their AI is pretty switched on. Have a look at your bigger data. Who is resonating with your ad? Cut it down, because you've got a smaller budget, right? So you've got to really hone in to who's buying in those age groups, but you should let it run for maybe 7 days to get some data, and then just hone in on those people. And that's how I found, with a smaller budget, for me, worked the best using the system. So
exactly, yeah. And I think you also touched on a really good point as well, is like, when you're working your job, you're giving like 100% to your boss, right? And your boss is like, your boss is leveraging you to make him money, and you're giving it your 100%. Where when you jump into, and that's why I think a lot of people are really want to get into like the online space and stuff and working for themselves. Because as you've seen, once you're working for yourself and you get to that point, all that effort that you're putting in for someone else, you're putting into like your own business, right? So, and then it's also fun and exciting because you're not dreading going to work. You're excited to get on your laptop. You're excited to like look at your ads, look at your stats and be like, right, where can I go from here?
You're excited to wake up, like I was waking up at 5 a.m. and I've been waking up at 5 a.m. for a long time now. I sort of made that a routine because I would work on, one website or my ads at 5 a.m. The house is quiet. But, whenever I would wake up, on the Sunday, I get that dreaded feeling in my belly going, oh, this is my last day off and now I've got to go back. I've got to go back and make someone else money. So I don't know. It's just that I don't know if anyone else would experience that, but I got that pit in my stomach knowing that I got to wake up and it's Monday and I've got to go and work on someone else's business rather than work on my ads. So
I think honestly, everyone has that, everyone has that sort of feeling. And that's why a lot of people want to, a lot of people just recognize that feeling and think there's like no other way around that. And that's just normal. Like, you said your parents try to push you, to working a job because that's all they think is normal. But when they see someone else like, hey, I'm excited to wake up and like, I don't even know what day it is because every day is just the same. Like you don't work on like a week basis. No. It's just like everything's just everything's just a regular day. That's when you can get inspired and be like, wow, that's like actually possible and people actually like live like that,
Exactly. I don't recommend people do drastic things like I did. If they're in a nice cushy job where they're making a lot of money, I don't recommend doing what I did where I gave that all up to clean ovens. But I did that because my mindset, I knew that I have to give my energy and my brain towards my goals, not someone else's goals. So, I mean, if you want to take those steps, go ahead, because we all only have a certain amount of energy every day to give to something. And if you're giving it to somebody else, someone else's dreams, then your dreams are going to be always on the side. And if I didn't do what I did, my side hustle would always most likely be my side hustle. It might have not have been, but I don't know. I was taking my journey in the way I wanted to take it. There was some risk there, but at the end of the day, it's paid off because I don't know. I made it happen.
And you've just made like, what was it? You've just made like your monthly income in like 2 weeks, basically.
More than that. And on most days, I make more from my online business than I do when I'm going out on cleaning other people's barbecues and ovens. And sometimes that can be quite hard for me to get out of bed to go do that. So
you still work doing that subcontracting?
I'm 3 days now. So I'll
3 days left of working or 3 days off?
No, I'm 3 days working. So now I have Monday and Fridays off. So I have a long weekend every week. But I'll be dropping those down very shortly if things keep going. That's the next goal, is to put in my resignation, say, see you later. These are great people. And to be honest with you, I actually don't mind doing it. But again, I'm giving someone else, or my time is going somewhere else and my energy is going somewhere else. But we're nearly there where I'm going to be full-time online, working for myself, giving 100%, so excited.
I'm sure it's going to be very soon, honestly, like the way things are going. And then it's going to be exciting to see that journey for you as well. Like for me, like seeing you, start from here and what you're still working, making some money, like having some difficulties with other business models and stuff, and now jumping into this and like crushing it. So where do you see yourself? That would be a good way to finish off. So where do you see yourself in the future? Like, what are your sort of goals? and how have they sort of changed throughout your life as you've gone through like different business models?
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, I see myself in the next maybe 6 months, like I said, probably trying to hit those Chris Reader, Keegan's, those numbers. Yeah. That's where I want to be. I want to be in the big baller numbers, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's where it gets really exciting for me. That's where my drive is. So, and, you know, like I said, paying off my debt, saving up for a home, getting married, you know, all those sort of things that I have to look forward to now. So that's where I see it. That's where I see myself in the next 6 to 12 months is trying to get to those big baller numbers and join you guys up there too. And also helping anyone else that needs help on their journey as well. You know, I've been at it for a long time. I've built up a lot of the mindset, and, you know, I look forward to sharing that with you guys in the group as well, you know. So I want other people to experience what I experienced and live the life that they want to live too. So, you know, traveling, my partner, she's right into traveling. I've never left Australia. So all that is on the horizons, and it will be possible. So yeah, very, very excited.
Yeah, and that's what's also really awesome about like this community and group, you know, is like you can see a lot of different sort of people out there trying to give you a business model or whatever. But like what's really awesome about this group is like the core of it is like trying to help people, right? Yes. Like we could just be doing all this by ourselves, but like bringing people on you on board, and for you to actually be in the business model and not just be like plugging away, like doing blah, 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 but actually being able to see the community and like the growth of everyone else is like super inspiring, wouldn't you say?
It is. I wouldn't be where I'm at now without the group. There's no way that I would have figured out all the little bits and pieces that go together to make a winning funnel. So it's fundamental. The group was fundamental for me to actually have success. So without it, and without people sharing what's working, what's not, what's changed, and we're always in the group, we're always sharing, you know, you know, what's working and what's not, what we've tested, what didn't work. So you've always got a community of, you know, hundreds of people that will guide you to, you know, having success, you know. So everyone's always willing to help. Whenever you post something in there, someone's answering it within sometimes minutes. It's like we all live on in the group. So no, it's really good. If you have any questions, post it in there. Someone will answer it, and away you go. So no, it's really,
and also just like the fact of seeing people every day hit breakthroughs as well. Like for me, just seeing that and like being everyone just like commenting, saying like congratulations, and for everyone else in the group seeing like, wow, like, you know, there's some people in there doing some massive numbers that have been doing that for a while. But also seeing like all these new people come in and all these new people smash massive goals. Yeah. And you being one of them, you know, when you first post your like success in there and everyone's just like.
Yeah, it was a good feeling, you know, like that it wasn't like your big massive numbers, but it was actually, it's like, because I'm starting at the beginning and then posting all my success that I'm having throughout the program. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And it feels good, you know, to all your hard work and people, you know, saying, you know, congratulations and giving you motivations. And I really love when people post. I was asking you, Chris, you know, how's your ads going? You know, how much are you, where are you at now? You know, so like, I love when people post there, even if it's the smaller numbers. And $1,000 a day is not small for a lot of people, but, you know, seeing all ranges where people are in their journey, and it just gives me a lot more motivation. That's why I like it when people post in the group their successful days, because I'm like, yeah, I'm heading towards that too.
Exactly. You know, and that's the other thing as well. When you're like in this group and the business model, your vision can kind of get distorted because you see some people doing like regular sort of mindset in someone is like, oh yeah, this guy just did like 30,000, you know, mid-range, $50,000, $20,000 a day. Someone's like, dude, like I make that in a year. There's no way someone makes it in a month, like in a day.
Exactly.
You know? And so that's their perception looking in. But once you're in this group, your perception can be distorted, right? So for now you're in the mindset of like $1,000 a day is nothing, you know. I want to hit higher, but when you first joined, you're like, all I want to do is hit $1,000 a day, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
so like it can be pretty distorting, like when you're stepping into this thing and it's like, well, everyone's normal mindset is like, that's so much money, but now I'm in this whole nother realm where it's like I can achieve that and so much more as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, life-changing for people would just be $300 a day, you know. But once you start hitting $500 a day, $1,000 a day, and then you just snowball it, you know. So that's you got to start somewhere, and that's how everybody had started. I'm sure you guys, you know, this is where you started with smaller, then it got bigger, and you just kept hitting those goals. So that's exactly what I'm doing. You got to start at the beginning, and then
you got to take those first steps, man. You know, you can't just
baby steps. Yeah.
And the other thing is like the best problem you can have, I think, in life is like a cash flow problem when you're making money, you know, because then it's like you're making so much money that you don't even have enough money to spend.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And from looking at you, from having this interview here now, and then, you know, we'll probably have another interview in the future, and you're going to be looking back on this like, geez, man, like, you know, you're hitting that and now you're like hitting the massive numbers. So it's going to be awesome to see that progression. And for you as well, like you can look forward and see that that's actually going to be a thing, you know, and like, you know, it's going to be a thing as well.
Well, I know it's possible because I've seen you guys. I've seen, you know, you, Keegan, and Nick, and a few other of the fellas posting these $50,000 days and $40,000 days, $30,000. It's crazy numbers to even think about that you can make that in a day. It's nuts. And I don't know any other business model online. Maybe there is, but I don't know anything else that can get you from there to $50,000 in a day. It's unbelievable. Very cool.
It is. And I think it's going to be awesome. I think this has been a good interview to just show everyone like the progress and like in the mindset, as well as just like starting from, you know, joining to seeing people have success, to knowing like, hey, let's just get the ball rolling, take the little steps. You know, even starting small from like $100 a day, 200, 300, 400, and then just building up and snowballing it. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, definitely. If you've got a smaller budget, $100 a day, you know, and just let the Google algorithm do its thing. And then once you look at your data over 7 days, then you can start narrowing it into the people who resonate with your ad and your funnel. When I was making ads, I was like, oh, this ad's going to be really, really good. And then you discover that it's not. And then the one that actually you didn't think that is the one that does well. Well, that's the other part of this business model as well. A lot of people sort of overcomplicate it, right? Yeah.
And they put in you know, they overcomplicate things. They try and test all these different other stuff, but like once you return back to like the original thing and just keep it simple, that's like what works.
It's funny, Chris, because my winning funnel right now, the ad that I'm running, I'm just like, oh, let me try to beat the control. And I was making the script that I thought was better, and then plugging it in, but nothing could beat this video. So I'm like, you know what? It's not up to me to decide what video resonates with people and not. I just let the data tell me what works and what doesn't. And so when I look at this ad, I'm like, oh man, but it works. So
exactly right. And so that's the other thing is like when you have one winner, like most other business models, you're going to do all this different stuff. But with this, you have one winner. You just have one. You could have one video in your ad account and you just scale it from like 100, 200, 300, all the way up to like $15,000 in spend a day. Exactly. It was just one video, because
one video, one funnel. Just one ad can do it. And like, it's unbelievable, man. One ad can do it. And like I said, I was testing against the control and I could not beat it. And I was thinking that these ads were better than the control, but nah, you just got to believe that Google knows what they're talking about. So, and they do. So no, it's awesome. Yeah.
On that note, what advice would you give? So I always like asking this question. What advice would you give to someone that was like in your early shoes? Like maybe they just jumped into the course, or maybe they're thinking about jumping into it. And then on that note as well, what advice would you give yourself just before you jumped into this? Like you might have been questioning it and so on.
So if I was stepping in my shoes now, and I'm sure there's probably a lot of people who still work a full-time job, make sure that you give all your energy to this, right? And what I mean by that is get up early. Put your brain power and your energy into going through the course and actually implementing every single step. Every day, work towards it and put all your brain power and your energy into this business model, right? So getting up at 5 a.m., getting up at 4 a.m. and working towards getting yourself a winning funnel. And if you're testing with small amount of budgets, that's fine. It can still work for you. So, but always being ahead of yourself as well. So don't wait to test this ad and wait 7 days to see if it's working or not. Actually have the next one ready. Don't wait and then find out this ad doesn't work. Then I create an ad, then I publish it. No, publish the ad, then work on the next one, right? And you just keep doing that so that you're never always waiting. You're always working towards getting your winning funnel. And testing for just $100 a day to see if you're getting a return, and hopefully you're either breaking even or you're actually 50% ROI. So mindset wise would be don't get deterred if you don't hit a winning ad within the first couple of weeks, right? So always think positive, staying focused. Don't get any sort of shiny object syndrome, and because you're working on YouTube, you're going to get ads from other business models. So just block them out and focus. My mindset is never give up. You'll do whatever it takes to hit your goals. So
yeah. All right, well, awesome, man. It's been a pleasure to have you on here, and it's been awesome to talk one-on-one and just see your journey so far. And I'm looking forward to seeing once you start getting it rolling even more and scaling up to the bigger numbers. That's going to be really exciting to see as well. So we'll leave it there, man. And it's been a pleasure having you here.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Sweet, brother.
See ya.